Okay, so I'm Chandra with Penny for her second week of training. So I'm just going to start off. This is going to be her first filmed ride. Oh, I guess I should put my stirrups down. That would help. So I'm just going to click to her for standing at the mounting block. Just bend her head a little bit. And then click when I get on her too. Ugh. I'm just going to feed her on the opposite side she's waiting for. Go. Because I want to teach her to stay settled and standing here until I'm ready versus just wandering off. Get my girth under control so it's not hitting me in the legs. Good girl. So I'm just going to click to her for standing still. I don't want her to get in the habit of just taking off as soon as I get on, because that's very annoying. Okay, so I've ridden her before, and so she knows, she's very soft in the bridle. She knows all the bending and flexing part. So if you haven't done that before, make sure your horse can bend each way, nice and gentle. I'm just going to hold. I'm not going to pull her head around. I'm just going to take my hand out and then wait. And then she came, and then I'll let go. So I'm not going to grab her and yank her around, because that's not teaching her anything. It's not teaching her to be soft. It's teaching her to have her head pulled around. So she's got that part. So I'd have you bend her both ways and then make sure she can just move off of her leg. So once you can bend them laterally, just put your leg back, ask them to move over. Wake up. Come on. Move. There we go. And then I'll take my leg off, and then she'll take a step around, and then when she's soft, I'll let go. And I just do that on both sides if you haven't done any of the riding stuff before, but since she has, I just want to kind of go over that. So I'm just going to have her go off. Walk on. So I'm just going to let her cruise around on a loose rein here and see where she wants to go. Alright, so I'm just going to let her walk around and see where she wants to go here. She's usually spookier on this side of the jump, so we'll just kind of see where she wants to go. She wasn't too bad today when I lunged her, but she just normally is, so I'll just have her target. Good girl. So I've taught her how to target a cone on the ground, and then I built it up to touching the fence. We're not going to eat it though, walk on. And then I went from the cone on the ground to touching the fence on the ground once she understood the target, which I have on my YouTube page. She just thought I was going to, yeah, good girl. So I moved and she came back to me, which is really nice, and then tried to target, but I don't want that. That's okay. Okay, so I have a couple how to teach clicker training, just how to teach what the click means, and then how to teach targeting as well is on there. So I'm just gonna have her target in this corner here. Target. I'm just gonna tip my rein, and then when her nose touches, I'm gonna click it and then reward her. And I only do it on this end here. She just wants to touch it more because she is, walk on, she wants to bite the fence. We don't want to do that. Come on. Let's go this way. So be over there. We want to stay away from that. Okay. So I want to let her cruise around, but I'm not going to hang out down there. I want her to just kind of pick her way around and kind of see where she wants to be. Which is nice. This is good. I like that she wants to hang out over here. Very good. She's seeing if I wanted her to target. I don't, but I just want her to kind of cruise around. Okay, so she's good. So the first step I want to make sure we have is just, can you just wander around on loose rein? Or is there any particular place you really want to be? Is there any magnet you want to be? Usually that's the gate. So for her, it wasn't necessarily she had to be at the gate. It was she had to be on the closer end of this jump, basically, from here over. Good. So I'm just gonna let her cruise around. So if she wanted to really go anywhere up here, I'm gonna ask for an upward transition, or I'm gonna ask for some steering, or I'm just gonna do some work. So work is pressure to a horse. Any kind of pressure you put on them is work. I'm just gonna have her kind of cruise over here. So I'm just gonna have her steer her a little bit, since I know she's pretty cool with going everywhere. It looks like she wants to just be on this end, that her magnet's down here. It is not. This is just because this is her first time seeing where she's at right now. So I'm just gonna hold that rein till she comes and bends through her body, because she really just wants to be down here, but I don't want to put too much pressure on her down here right now, since she's still learning that this is a good place. She really likes to go over logs, because I usually reward her for that, but I didn't exactly want it. So I'm just going to work on some steering. So since she wants to be down here, I'm just going to put some, so I've asked her to go this way, and she's made a turn, but there her shoulders finally went. So her shoulders kind of tracked out that way, and she never really turned. So this would be just beginning steering here. So we'll wait. There, her shoulder stepped over that way. I'll let go. And she's just going to stop. That's fine. So her magnet is the gate, or this half of the fence, from this corner to this corner. So I don't want to, since she wants to be down here, I don't want to put a ton of pressure on her, but I want to put some, just so we're getting something done. Because as soon as I ask her for too many transitions, it's going to switch back to being over there. That's good. So she just kind of stopped at her own. She's licking her lips. So anytime she gives me a relaxing signal, which is licking the lips, I'm just going to give her a reward. And I like that she decided to stop there. So she had a bend in her body. She didn't stop out of fear. She wasn't stiff. She just kind of was like, can I stop here? So yeah. So I'll let her hang out. And we'll go cruise around a little bit more. And I usually just wait till she's done licking here, and then I'll have her go off. So right now she's just in basic cues. So I have the reins to steer and my legs just go. So that's where she's at right now. Gonna lick forever, aren't you? As long as she's relaxed and hanging out here, I'm fine with this. You always gotta give your horse a break. So when you're trying to work through these magnets, it's very important that you give them a rest. If your horse is at the gate and wants to be there and gets about halfway and you're like, oh good, that's nice, and then you don't recognize that, then they're just going to keep going back because they can't find that place where they feel comfortable. So you've got to give them a break place and then move it around in that area. So since she likes to be on this half, she gets to rest anywhere over here, but I kind of move it around so she doesn't get stuck to one area too much. All right, walk on. And I'll just kind of tap on my leg. Wake up. All right. So I'm just going to work on a little bit of steering. So she kind of went off to my left. I'm just going to steer her the opposite direction and wait for her. Good. So I want that neck to bend and be soft, and then I want that shoulder to step over. Then I release. I just hold and then I'll release. So same thing here. She went to the right. I'm just going to hold out my left rein. There's her neck. There's her shoulder. I'll let go. So she kind of went back over this way, and then I let go. There's no pulling or anything. It's just very easy. Hold and release. So she wants to hang out down here. We're going to cruise around down here. She's just looking for what am I going to get rewarded for, and she wants to do more of that. So just steer a little bit. So she's pretty light as far as steering goes. I usually ride her on a loose rein, so we're going to work on, good, just a little bit of collected work. So since we're down here, let's just work on some stopping. Whoa. So I'll click to her when she's completely stopped. Good girl. So I just sat down on my seat and then she just came right back. She usually does that pretty good. So in order to work on a little bit of collection or just contact on the reins, I gotta have my stop first with the seat and then the stop on the reins, and then that builds up to the collection. So you have to have the go and the stop to put that together. Let her hang out for a second. Walk on. Good. She just went off my voice cue there. Okay, Okay, so I'm just going to steer her off to my right, and then I'm just going to ask her to stop off of the reins. So as soon as both feet stop, I'm going to click to her. And so she's kind of tipping her head to my left here, so I'll feed her to my right. Very good. So Penny already has these like puzzle pieces, since I'm just kind of doing a challenge with her and just kind of seeing where we can go. All these pieces separately could take its own amount of time. So like just to get where you're walking on a loose rein and you don't have a magnet could take a while. Getting them to stop off your seat could take a while, but all the clicker training does is help progress that a lot quicker. So we'll have her stop again. So I'm just gonna sit in my seat and use my reins. That was really nice. And then that feeding on the opposite side creates that where she just has her head straight and is just waiting for me. It's just all about where you put pressure on them, how much and where it is. Okay, and walk on. Okay, so she wants to try this area, since she usually is really good during the day, and then the shadows kind of, I think, weird her out a bit, so that's when she kind of wants to spook a little bit. So that's kind of what we're working on, just really overriding this area with positive things. So yeah, your target. Good girl. Since she's in this corner, I'll feed her on this side just so she's not stuck in that corner. We're really trying to override this corner. Walk on. We're not going to eat the fence. She does want to chew on the wood a little. I want to just override this with positive things. So that's what I like to do with a lot of my problems, is just override them with positive. So like she would not like me just walking around in front of her. So every time I walk in front of her, I click and feed her. Every single time. And it took a couple of weeks, and then she doesn't pit her ears anymore. She just hangs out. So I just really override it with positive things. Alright, so we're kind of on this magnet end where she wants to do a little bit more work, or needs to. So I'm just going to ask her for, already thinking about it, for the walk on, for some collections from headset. So I'm just going to ask with my reins here. So she's kind of walking through my hands, so I'm just going to wait. There. Okay, walk on. So when I go out to this side, because I don't want her to walk through my contact, so I'm going to pick up so she comes back, put my leg on, right there. And then she kind of walked through and set her head, so I'll click her. And this is what she's working on, but I want it to be an example of you can work on whatever as long as it's in a certain location, as long as you're putting pressure on the horse there. Because you could be stuck on loose rein riding, trying to get over a magnet for a very long time, so you might as well get some other things accomplished too. Okay, walk on. So of course she wants to go back down here. So I want to do steering, but I don't want to do a ton of it, since I'm trying to override this magnet, and that's really a big thing with her. We don't want to go in the corner just because of the bee situation. Target. Good girl. Otherwise I would go down there. No, we're not gonna. Okay, let's go. You eat my fence. Alright. So I'm just gonna ask her for a little bit of contact here. Good. She rates back. Good. I'm just gonna let go. Very nice. So I did it there on the other side, but I'm just trying to mix it up. Good. She rates back. Good. I'll just mess with that a little bit. Yeah. Anytime she's relaxing, give her a reward. Because that's all I really wanting is her being relaxed in here. I want to do a little bit of trot work here. So I'm just going to have her steer off here. So we start steering a little bit more subtly without so much of a big opening rein. I'm just going to wait till she's down here. Steer away from the Mustangs over there. Trot. And if she wants to break, that's fine. We'll just ask her again. Trot. Good girl. So she goes a little ways, and I'll click her rewarder. Good. And she headed right over here. So that's why if you do your pressure in certain areas, it'll make them want to go to the one you want to be in. You just got to use it very carefully. And being a little more different about it because of the Mustangs over here, because they want to get it worked up, the lighter one does. And I don't want to add another thing for her to get worried about, so I'm trying to trot away from them because he still has flashbacks from when he was rounded up. So, okay. Target. Good girl. I'm not going to eat that. Yes. When I feed, I just grab some mane. Make sure you have your reins. Okay? No. Okay. Just in case she wants to jump at something. I go this way. Work on that collection again. Ask for it. Oh, she's just going to go straight to her touching spot here. Met her target. Walk on. That's not going to save you. I want her to. There. I'll let go. I want her to do it versus like, oh, I'm going to get through it and just go touch the fence. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, I know. Come on. I only want her to do it when I ask her to do it. Good girl. Okay, trot. Girl. And I'm just going to build up the number of strides that I do with the trot. Walk on. She wants to go immediately back over there. That's fine. Trot. Girl. Good girl. She likes to put on the brakes when I click to her. Good. Relaxing, just take a deep breath. see if I can get her to trot down this line here. She walked off, so I'm just going to bend her until she stops. So she's not necessarily worried. She's just like, oh, I'm going to go trot and get a treat. I'm like, no, we're just going to hang out. Okay, walk on. So I'm just going to have her trot down here and see if she can kind of cruise all the way down the arena here. Turn around here. We're just going to start up here on her safe end and just kind of lengthen it from there. So, trot. Try not to use too much leg here. Ooh, careful. And we're just going to go right up to the fence. Target. Good girl. Walk on. So I'm going to go away from the corner just because there's bees here, but I'd like her to kind of trot toward this and over this. Trot. And I should have, the first time, had her... Good girl. I should have had her the first... She was very eager to go over here. I should have clicked to her when she was trotting and then let her touch it, because I want to reward what she was doing at the time. Okay, we go this way. Okay, trot. Good girl. Target. Good girl. So I want it to look more like that. Good girl. Let's see if we could go down here without freaking out the Mustangs. Okay, go over here. I think Atlas will be okay. Trot. Good girl. I'm just grabbing some mane because I haven't done a whole lot of trotting work on her. Good girl. So she was doing a nice little slow trot, so I'm going to be like, that's great. I kind of thought she was going to keep going though. Walk on. I'll go get her to touch this fence here. Here. Target. Good girl. And then we'll go down here. Hopefully Castor can contain himself. Okay, let's go this way. We'll try and go away a little bit, a ways away from him. Okay, trot. Go down here. Girl. I won't worry about her touching the fence over here because she's not worried about this area. So I could do that both ways, but I kind of want to cruise over the poles a little bit since I have those and she likes going over them. But I would do it both ways just to even her out. But we're going to go over the poles. Okay. Go this way. Okay, trot. See if we can steer her over the pole here without getting too fast. Good girl. She gets a little excited when she sees it, so I'm trying to hold on and steer. Okay. I'm just gonna let her walk through this turn here. Take a minute so she doesn't think everything is trot. Which I shouldn't always say that because that's her cue. I know. That's fine, you can do that. So I'll let her, if she's being really good since she is today, I'll let her touch it. But I'm not gonna let her do it all the time. Welcome. Just because of today, how the kind of how the weather played out. Good girl. I figured she would be a little bit worse than this, so I'll take it though. Okay, let's go over this one. Get her lined up here. Trot. Good girl. So if it was like a regular day where it wasn't as windy and kind of funky, I would just kind of ignore that. Since she was over there and she didn't really get it, I was like, okay, if you want to touch it, that's fine. Just don't make it a habit. Just it's something to notice. Good girl. To where you're like, okay, like we shouldn't always touch it unless I ask her to. So I'm going to trot over this one, and we're going to end down here because I'm running out of treats. She's being so good. Okay, walk on. I'm going to try to cruise around this one. Trot. If we can do it from the trot. Do some fancy steering. Good girl. Bounce me right out. Good. I just think having like some obstacles or some patterns or stuff to do gets you moving off versus like, okay, I'd like her to walk on a loose rein and trot on a loose rein. Like I definitely want her to do those things. But once we can do them, then I'm like, okay, can we move on quickly versus staying there all the time and then we kind of get stuck there. All right, walk on. We go this way, get this other one. So if she were starting to get like, oh, I really want to be down here, then that's when you stop the steering and be like, okay, where do you want to be? And then fix that, and then you go back to it. You got to see, trot. We want to see, okay, that's a little bit too fast for me. Let's not do that. Okay. So she wanted to kind of cruise off here. Very excited, I know. So it's better to stop and let her hang out. So the steering isn't like, oh, she's being bad. It's like, oh, she's communicating. She's telling you something. So that's what we want. And then let her. So if we're cruising around, I'm steering her this way, and she really wants to go that way, and she wants to be spooky, then I'm like, okay, let's fix the problem. It's just something we got to go fix. Okay? Okay. I'm just going to steer her back over here. She's like pushing her way through their shoulder there, so hold. There we go. So I want to trot her over this last one, but she wants to get a little too much. So we're just going to trot nice and easy. You trot nice and easy. Good girl. Ooh. Good girl. There we go. Oh, we're running out of food for you. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just going to have her walk on. Target this and we'll be done. That was very good. Target. Steer right here. Right there where I wanted her to go. Perfect. So I'm not super worried that she wanted to kind of speed up a little bit. She didn't run off. She didn't do anything. She was doing what I wanted her to do. No, we're going to stay over here. We're not going to do that though. Good. Okay, so I only had her back up because I don't want her to eat my fence. We have worked on that a little bit too. So I'm not worried about ending on that. I'm more worried about not having something to reward her with to help with her training, help speed that up. So I'm not worried about that because we were trotting and she was like, oh, that's what you wanted. So she's just enthusiastic, not naughty or nervous. She didn't do it in that way. Her head wasn't up. She wasn't like worried about it. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm just gonna let her hang out for a second and then we'll just hop off here. And I'm just gonna untack her right here because I want this to be a super positive place. Just override that with positive things. So that includes release of pressure, resting, targeting. Okay, we're not gonna do that though. I'm just gonna back her up from there. Getting her a treat, working for a treat, getting the tack taken off, all those things are really great things. Getting let go for the day. So like here, I'm just gonna untack her. It's just a huge deal when they are done and they're good. It's a huge deal of where you get off is a big deal, and where they're untacked is a big deal. So I want to pay attention where she's paying attention to. Hello. There we go. So I don't want to take that off when she's distracted and she's looking over here. Hey. Hello. Hello. Hey, pay attention to me. Good girl. So she take a deep breath. So, whoops. Take that off. Oh, forgot this side's attached here. So when I take the saddle off, I want to make sure that she's with me. So she was kind of staring over there, and then she came back, took a deep breath, so I'll just take it off. Alright. Just kind of cruise over here. I just want her to rest over here at the scary area. But I want her to pay attention to me. Good. Hey, can she come back? Good. 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 A little bit to give her. So I'm running out of treats, so I need to bring more next time for sure. Because I want to end on a good spot. Reward everything that was good. There we go.